team. Vishal Mehta, the MD of the company, joins us on the show now. Hi, Vishal. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, Infibeam recently announced an investment into payments getaway company, I think so. Could you tell us your current stake, your current investment so far, and also your future plans with respect to buying more stake?
You see, payments is a very important part of the e-commerce ecosystem. So if you think of payments, after the consumer clicks on a product and when they go through a checkout pipeline, then payments is the endpoint. And payments is a very important endpoint because consumers will end up paying using credit cards, debit cards, net banking, many of the payment options. So in the ecosystem of payments, CC Avenue is a payment aggregator. And the role of a payment aggregator is to connect all the banks and all the providers into a single gateway, so that when the merchant wants to actually connect onto all these payment gateways, they don't have to individually connect with every bank. They can use an aggregator and essentially make sure that customers can complete a transaction. So we've been working with CC Avenue. Infibeam has been working with CC Avenue for many years. And last year, in June of last year, we had made an investment into CC Avenue. And this year in February, we had announced an MOU whereby we will make additional investment and then file for a scheme of merger. So the contours of the deals are that we have made an investment of 60 crores last year, and that essentially gave us 3.85% in the company through one of our wholly owned subsidiary. And in February of this year, we have announced to make an investment of 150 crores additional into the company for 7.5% equity. And subsequent to that, we will essentially go and merge the company. If you look at the recent announcement that we have made in March, we have completed the 150 crore tranche of investments. And all the information which is out there is in public domain.
Vishal, what's interesting is that, so far you've invested only a 11.35% stake in CC Avenues, yet you're talking about merging the company. So how is that possible? Do you not need to acquire more stake, perhaps at least a majority stake, for you to go ahead and merge this company? Explain it, for us.
The merger scheme is yet to be filed. So it has to go through the right process and the regulatory approvals to be able to file the scheme of merger. And that scheme of merger will, of course, give you additional details in terms of merging that enterprise completely into Infibeam. So that merger scheme is yet to be filed. We have not filed the merger scheme yet. But yes, you're right that, at the end, once we go ahead with this transaction, that, 100% of the company will be merged into Infibeam.
Vishal, if I get that right, you're saying that the merger of CC Avenue into Infibeam will be highly cash as well as profit accretive. Can you quantify some of that for us?
The way we would look at this particular merger is that you would look at impact on earnings per share. So as long as the earnings per share becomes accretive for the shareholders, it becomes a accretive merger. So CC Avenue has its own EBITDA and profitability. And once you actually merge, that we would actually go back and look at different parameters, go through the valuation and fairness opinions, and then make sure that it is actually going to be accretive to the shareholders in the long term. So those are the ways and parameters with which we would actually go and look at this particular merger. You see, the synergies are very strong in both these businesses.
Okay, we take your point about synergies, but what your shareholders and investors want to know is more about numbers. So if you could tell us the additional revenues that you foresee because of the merger with CC Avenues.
If you look at last year, CC Avenue revenues were upwards of 100 crores. If you look at their profitability, the profitability numbers, were also, in the EBITDA level, they were upwards of 25 crores. So, and of course, this was last year in 15-16. If you look at 16-17, you will also see that, there is a demonetization event that happened in November. As a result, digital payments became more and more attractive. So, the number of transactions, publicly, a lot of aggregators as well as payment providers have announced that the number of transactions have increased tremendously. So we believe that this year in 16-17 also is a significantly important. The fundamentals of the companies are strong. and that allows us to essentially look at a much larger enterprise with profitability.
Okay, Vishal, before we let you go, finally, if you could tell us some kind of forecast you have in terms of revenues as well as margins for the next fiscal year, that is FY18.
Yeah, so if you look at last quarter alone, we would have done upwards of 44 crores in terms of, the platform revenue. So in some way, shape or form, we will be, able to continue building out that business. So on a quarterly basis, if we are doing, between 40 to 45 crores, then it allows us to continuously build that business up. The same number, if you will, last year was in the 20s. So we've continuously grown our business as far as the platform business is concerned. And there are three elements. You would have recently seen our announcement that we've actually opened up the Build-A-Bazaar platform business to serve the education industry. You see, traditionally we were serving only the retail industry and the industry that allows online services like ticketing services and theme parks. And recently we have opened it up so that any educational institution, though it be a college, a school, or a university, any company that wants to offer compliance related training to their employees, that they can set up their own personalized cloud instance using us, and that they would be able to offer tutoring and courses with proctoring and analytics at the back end, so that your content is not out in the open, and one can actually go and even allow storefronts to be built out so that people can purchase, whether it's a coursework or whether it is actually a digital training. So that framework we just opened up a few weeks back. And so we continuously expand into those territories that allow us to continuously increase our platform revenue.
All right, Vishal, thanks so much for stopping by and giving us those details. Well, just keep an eye out on the Nifty. We just breached the